Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this Monday night edition of the Around the Ropes radio show. Now, guys, one of our newest partners that we are working with now is Ground Zero, and they are putting on, I would say, a star-studded tag team tournament this coming weekend. And this whole week is actually going to be Ground Zero week. You're going to hear from a lot of the guys up at Ground Zero. And I figured, who else better to kick off this week than my eyes, one of the top teams in the upstate New York area, in green, Price Pure Gold, Julio DeMonte. Guys, welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
Good, brother. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being and basically be the first ones opening the podcast for this show coming out right now on the Saturday and Sunday.
I believe it. I'm glad that I'm able to be a part of this. Helping get a little bit more promotion for this. And obviously, we just had Price on recently. So, Julio, I'm going to throw it to you quickly. What got you into pro wrestling? Just kind of, take the fans, through the early days.
Oh, and basically, my grandpa. I basically grew up watching Puerto Rican wrestling. So, like at the WWC, IWA, NWA in that time when he combined with the Capital Promotion. That's the Carlito dad. So basically, I just grew up watching that. So
now, was there a match that you remember that you're like, okay, I want to become a pro wrestler?
Oh man, I got a couple ones, but they have one specific one. It's from Puerto Rico too. So it's Ray Gonzalez versus Apollo. So in Histeria Boricua 2005.
Okay, yeah. It's one thing I will say, because I've seen a lot of like the Puerto Rican style when it comes to wrestling. Mm-hmm. Not so much with the wrestling. I've heard stories that the crowds out of Puerto Rico make the crowds up here in the States look like nothing.
Yep, it's totally different. So there is so hot. And when I say hot, is basically when you make the entrance, they blew you off quick. So if you're like a bad guy or something, they start screaming bad things to you, and you're just like, okay, I got it. But if you're like the good guy or something, and you don't make quick contact, oh my God, it's same thing. They're gonna start like chanting on you or doing some things, and it's like, oh my God, are we gonna like, and basically the difference from here, there, the style, when you got a match, oh my, there is basically punch, kick, and work your character and work with the crowd. That's it. So right here it's different. So
I get it, and also down there, they really see it as being real, especially like in like the 70s and 80s. I remember there was stories of Bruiser, I think it was Bruiser Brody, got stabbed at a show in Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico, a crowd you want to piss off.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to ask you, how did you guys form this team? Was it your idea to kind of be a tag team wrestler, or did somebody come up? Like, take us through the early days of Greed.
I started training February 2020, and 6 months later, Big Budget came along, and then 6 months later, Lotto and Julio came along. And we just kind of all had similar mindsets and goals and work ethic. I think that was the biggest thing, is that we all had similar work ethic. And there was just like something about the four of us when we were there, and they decided to put us together. And Budget and Lotto were definitely going to be a team. I mean, look at them; they're destined to be a team, right? But we were just kind of the other two guys in the faction, and it just worked out that we became a team that way.
No, go ahead, Julio.
No, it's good. Yeah, basically, like Price said, like we basically, when you look the whole entire group is basically like, okay, these guys, those two guys, the small guys, they look like you know, a par or something like, they're single guys, and like, no, we basically like get each other like so really good,
Mhm.
and the other things they are easier, you know.
Now, when we had Price on, before we were talking about with Flex Wrestling, Julio, I kind of want to ask you this as well. I'm just looking at the tag teams who are in this tournament. Just for people who are watching who may not know, some of the tag teams in this tournament, you got Edge of Hope, you obviously got Greed, Carnage Crew, CXR, Infinity and Beyond. You also have High Seas is also involved in it. And that's just some of the teams. Now, I know you guys basically have been together now, as a team, as a group now for a couple of years now. With how much tag team wrestling there is, and I mean, you see it in this tournament. What are you guys trying to do to kind of stand out from the rest of these teams?
I mean, I think, if I may, I think we've already stood out among everybody. I mean, I think what we've done in just a couple of years and the statement we've made and the impact we've had on particularly Rochester wrestling speaks for itself. We have wrestled every single team in this tournament aside from Carnage Crew, but we've proven time and again, we don't have to, we don't need to do anything to prove ourselves at this point or to stand out. We've already done that. We've already made our impact, We're here to win this tournament and to prove again, continually, that we are the best tag team in this tournament.
No, I definitely get that. And like I said, there's a lot of big tag teams in this tournament. Now, Julio, I want to throw this to you first, and then Price, then I'll throw it to you as well. How important would it be for you guys to win this tournament when the teams I just mentioned, how important would this be for you guys?
Yes. Basically, it's going to be so important to us. Like, it's going to be another step in our career and basically in, let's say, like our brand or something. Yeah, we know they have too much guys. Like, they say like we are the best tag teams or whatever. So the difference with us is basically we don't say that because we are the guys running Rochester. So, and that's why, like I say, like nobody shines like us, So yeah, but that win for us in this one is gonna be like the top thing, And they give us like a more, a hot thing, So,
Price, I'll ask you the same question as well. How important would this be for Greed to win this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for anybody to win this tournament, right? This is the first ever Dunn and Marcos Cup. Dunn and Marcos were a staple of this area, former ROH wrestlers, we could go on and on about them forever, but to be the first ever winners of the first ever Dunn and Marcos Cup would only be appropriate for Julio and I.
No, exactly. And, I talk about this a lot, because I'm very big in tag team wrestling. That's kind of my go-to is with tag team wrestling. And obviously we mentioned all the teams here, and there's so many other tag teams in the upper New York State area in so many of the different promotions. Do you have your eyes set on any specific tag team? According to what I see here, you guys are facing a mystery team. So now, is there anybody in particular in this tournament that you would like to be in that mystery spot, or it doesn't matter who?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who it is. Julio and I are are well prepared. You know, we study, we train hard. Rochester is a tag team town. You know, like our coaches are tag team specialists. Like there's no scenario or there's nothing that we're not prepared for. So we're absolutely prepared to take on any tag team, whoever the mystery team may be, whoever it is that we end up facing in the finals, because that's where we're going to be.
Oh, I definitely could see that with you guys, and especially like I said, you know, there's a lot of big names, and Price, you kind of said this before. You know, you kind of have faced every team in this tournament already at one form or another.
Mm-hmm.
Does that kind of give you guys the advantage a little bit because of the fact, you know, there's no team in here that you're not familiar with? Does that kind of give you guys a little bit of an advantage, you think?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, if you look at the teams in this tournament, we're up and down the road all the time together. We're wrestling each other constantly. How many times have we wrestled Edge of Hope? How many times have we wrestled CXR and Starburst and High Seas? You know what I mean? We're familiar. We're all familiar with one another. You know, yeah. I forget. I forget what the. Pardon me. I forget what the concept of the question was. My apologies.
I don't know. It was just, you know, with the fact that you guys are familiar and you guys have been in the ring with basically all these tag teams except for Carnage Crow.
Mm-hmm. Right. Does that
give you guys the advantage because of the fact you kind of know, okay, well, we know what CXR is going to do. We know what Edge of Hope's going to do. We know what this team's going to do. Obviously, if you get Carnage Crew, that may be a little different as far as, you know, prep goes. But if with like any of these other teams, does that kind of give you guys the advantage? It's like, okay, well, we know what TJ and Shell are going to do. We know what Sarah and Matic are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of, I guess it's a better way to kind of explain my question.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're all familiar with each other. We all know each other's stuff. We've all wrestled each other so many times, you know, so I don't think any particular, and I think that's going to make it an even more competitive tournament, is the fact that we all are familiar with each other. You know, like we know each other well, and we know the implications of winning this tournament. So I think it's going to be a challenging tournament because of that.
And Julio, I'll ask you this question now. You know, knowing that you guys have faced all these teams before and you kind of know what each of these teams have, does that add any sort of pressure, not only to you guys, but do you think to anybody? Well, more like you guys, because it's like, okay, this is the first tournament. Every team in here we face. Obviously, to win this, you gotta go perfect. You know, does that add any sort of pressure to you guys going into this?
Probably no, we don't got pressure in that one. Those guys, they got the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically, you know, like a Price said, we know each other. So we know the other teams, they got the pressure, not us. Mm-hmm. So the only thing, we basically is only like, are we going to wait until Saturday? Who's going to be the mystery guys? That's the only thing. But we don't care. We go what always we do. Go there, work hard, and just get the W. That's it.
You know, I definitely hear the passion in both of you guys, and I definitely hear the confidence going into this. Because, like I said, you know, we've seen tournaments over the years in pro wrestling where it's like, okay, well, here's, you know, especially like tag team tournaments where it's like, well, you got your tag teams that are going to dominate it, you got your tag teams that are going to do okay, and then you got the tag teams that are just there to fill space. I feel like with this tournament, you don't really have those last two. I feel like every team that's in this tournament is like up here.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think that's what's going to add to the excitement of this. And now, last question I got for both of you. Obviously, this is for Ground Zero. If somebody's watching this who may have never been to a Ground Zero show, Julio, I'll ask you this first, and then actually, Price, I'll ask you this first, and then I'll go to Julio on this. What would you tell somebody to convince them to come to the show this weekend?
You're going to see a bunch of top of the line, top notch, not just tag team wrestling, but wrestling, period. I mean, Ground Zero is the top quality wrestling, period. From top to the bottom of the show, every single person on the card is a great athlete, is a great wrestler. Everybody wants to have good matches. And when you put all that together, you got an excellent match card, no matter what.
Julio, what about yourself? What would you tell somebody who's ever been to a Ground Zero show to come to the show this weekend?
Yeah, basically, if you go to the show, you're gonna see the difference from another places. I'm gonna say like that. So basically, Ground Zero is everything right here. Around Rochester, we are the top ones, no matter what. And when you see the whole entire roster, you see that the best guys, the best wrestlers, tag teams, women's, everything, they always stand out. No matter what, if they going to another places, they going to another states, countries, or whatever, we stand out. No matter what, if we got the W's in the other places, we got we lose or something, we always stand out. And you see, and you're gonna see it. So we train so hard every single day. That's why that works, and you're gonna see it. The work ethic what we got is so top. So
no, I totally get that. I definitely hear, like I said before, I hear the confidence in both of you guys, and you kind of need that going into the star-studded tournament. And I'll mention some of the teams again, just in case some people are watching this now and have no idea the teams that are in this. Because, like I said, guys, there's a lot of big name teams in there. Obviously, Greed is in there. You also have, I'm just pulling up the list right now. You also have High Seas. You also have Main Event actually in it as well. You have Edge of Hope. Obviously, you guys, Carnage Crew, CXR, Infinity, and Beyond, and so much more. Guys, again, I appreciate both you guys for coming on tonight. It means a lot to have you guys both on. Guys, Ground Zero Week is just getting started here on the Around the Ropes radio show, because coming up this week, not only will you hear from Greed, but we also got Colin Delaney coming up this week. You got High Seas coming up this week. You also have Dick Justice coming up this week. And you also have CJ Settles. So you don't want to miss any of these interviews as we get ready for the big tournament this coming weekend for up in Rochester. If you're in the area, definitely go check it out. But guys, again, thank you so much for coming on tonight. It means a lot. Before we let you guys go, though, Julio, I'll ask you this first. Where can the fans connect with you on social media? And do you have anything else you'd like to promote as well?
So basically I always in Instagram. So basically like Julio the Diamond. So you can follow me there. That's only my social media, but I like more Instagram than the other ones. So you can follow me there.
Absolutely. And Price, what about you?
You can find me on X. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, any of those platforms. We got Flex Wrestling coming up in a couple weeks. I'm going down to Tennessee. I'm wrestling in Florida. I'm always at an Excite show. You can see me anywhere, any of those places.
Absolutely. And guys, again, I wish you all the luck in this tournament. It's going to be a tough tournament, but I think if anybody has the courage to go through and the confidence, I think it's you guys big time. So again, I wish you guys all the best of luck in this tournament.
Hey, we are the team to beat, period. We are the confident team going into this. Everybody's got to beat us as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, that's a great mindset to have going into this. But again, guys, Julio, Price, I appreciate both of you guys for coming on. I definitely want to get you guys both on again, after this tournament.
Yeah, sure. And thank you for that. And we basically grateful for the opportunity
Always.
to participate in your podcast. And let's go.
Absolutely, guys. Again, catch it this weekend as Ground Zero presents the Dunn and Marcos Cup. It's a 2-night tournament where you're going to have a lot of great tag team wrestling. Obviously, you mentioned before, Greed's going to be in there, CXR is going to be in there, Edge of Hope. Go to Ground Zero on Facebook or any social media accounts for all your information, and we will see you guys here next time.
Peace.